While the country has been occupied with the outcome of the New York versus Trump trial, there have been major policy changes this week under the Biden administration.
Maybe some of them they didn't want us to know about. So let's go off the wall to see some of the biggest stories you may have missed. And we're going to start overseas because there were some big changes in America's policy over Ukraine and Israel and Gaza. There was this top official, her name is Stacey Gilbert, resigned on Tuesday. Why did she resign? Because she disagrees with the fact that weapons are still going to Israel. She's very pro-Palestinian at this point. An example of the kind of conflict happening inside the administration.
We talked this morning about the State Department and the ideological capture of the State Department. Here's an example of someone thinking that capture hasn't gone far enough. It also illustrates the problem with inside the Democratic Party, the Democratic base. Here is an official at the State Department saying, if this is going to be the position of the administration, I'm out.
Yep. Because she doesn't think enough aid is getting to Gaza. Well, part of the reason not enough aid is getting to Gaza, you may have missed this news as well. Remember that pier that we were building off of Gaza to deliver all that aid? Spent $320 million on it. Well, it broke off. It doesn't work. After 6 trucks delivered aid, apparently it was due to high winds and rough water. It broke and floated off into sea. And now it's at a different port in Israel being repaired, potentially to be brought back. $320 million. 6 trucks under repair right now.
Yeah, floating off into the sea. Joe Biden did say this week, by the way, as he's worked on this new deal with with Israel in Gaza, that there's going to be more aid going to Gaza soon. So this, from the State Department to the inability, the State Department asking for more, at least some individuals, and the inability to deliver it, he keeps focusing on ways to help Gaza.
And they're trying to pressure a ceasefire to get all that aid in there as well.
Well, here's one that did fly under the radar, definitely as all the attention was on New York versus Trump. Joe Biden greenlit the use of American weapons by the Ukrainian military to launch attacks into Russia.
Yeah, you heard that right. So quietly, U.S. weapons now can be used to strike into the homeland of Russia, not in defense in Ukraine, in offensive weapons into Russia. This is how it always starts. Well, now you can use our weapons. What's next? You're already hearing from France, Macron, and others saying maybe NATO troops. I mean, they're tiptoeing further and further into direct intervention. Yet another. They say it'll be limited, Will. Will it be? We'll see.
This was a position that everyone opposed not long ago.
It's true.
Now let's go to the southern border, where there's been some developments on that as well, including that Joe Biden is now finalizing plans to use executive order to begin to stem the flow of illegal immigrants from Mexico into the United States.
Apparently, they're going to set a daily cap. We don't know what that number would be, so that anybody after that number is not allowed to claim asylum. Remember, that was supposed to be a law that they wanted passed, and they said they didn't have the power to do it through executive order. Now they claim they're going to.
Well, for several years, that's what Joe Biden has said. He said, I can't do anything about this. I don't have the executive power to do something. Well, all of a sudden, he's discovered the power as we lead up to an election. Why? Because 1.85 million gotaways from fiscal year 2021 to 2024 under Joe Biden.
These are the gotaways. These are the ones that we don't know their names. We don't know what countries they're from. We don't know but we do know they snuck into the country. That's all it is. Illegally snuck into the country. Here's from Border Patrol agents in New Mexico. 52,000 special immigrant migrants have come across the border. Special immigrant migrants meaning, think Iran, think China, think countries we should be concerned about.
These are from Morocco. And it's also of note these special interest migrants are 88% of them coming from the San Diego sector alone. That's according to Chief Jason Owens.
Oh, what state is the San Diego sector in? California. What's taking a different approach to the border? Texas. So they're going to the path of least resistance down into California.
Not good news on the economy either. Well, we've paid, again, so much attention to the Trump trial. Biden gets more bad news about the economy, according to Newsweek. What is that bad news?
I remember seeing this headline during that week and go, this is bad news. The trial's going on. This is really bad news for the Biden folks. First quarter GDP revised down because consumer spending is down, which yet again is a reflection of inflation. You don't have enough spending power.
Came in at 1.3%. Expectations were 1.6%. So that puts, look at the quarter growth of real GDP from quarter to quarter. You can see how it's gone from the third quarter of 2023 down consecutively.
Yeah, I'm not a math major, but that's a bad trend right there, especially heading into an election year. Again, all of this, that's why all of this is so significant, especially the border stuff. He's trying to make it look like he's tough on the border because it's a bad issue for him. I don't think it's going to work.
Meanwhile, we've talked about this morning. Here is a program the Biden administration is pushing forward on that's prioritizing $900 million for green school buses. This as illiteracy plagues U.S. schools, literacy rates dropping.
So in over 500 school districts across the country, they have perfectly good school buses. They just happen to be gas-powered. And the priority of this administration is, no, they must be replaced with electric buses. And $900 million worth instead of, I don't know, Johnny can't read and Johnny can't do math.
From 2019 to 2022, you can see grade 4 and 8 math and reading down.
2/3 of U.S. fourth grade children are unable to proficiently read. 2/3 of fourth graders. And their priority is get them an electric bus.
Everybody loves buses.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves the yellow buses.
Is this a clip?
Who doesn't love a yellow school bus, right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right? Just, there's something about and most of us, many of us went to school on the yellow school bus, right?
The disembodied audio was almost better. Yes, Kamala loves yellow school buses. Now she's got 900 million more.
Who doesn't love a yellow school bus? Say it 5 times, right? That's the speaking style of your vice president.
She is the reason why Joe Biden is still the nominee on the Democrat side, right there.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.